What's up, world? Welcome to another episode of the Brandon Janeau Show. As you know, I am Brandon Janeau. Um, I usually have my hat, but I forgot to bring it up here. So, Urban Boulevard. I am a brand ambassador of Urban Boulevard. Shout out to my family, Urban Boulevard. Urban Boulevard, BLVD.US. That's where the website is. You can follow them also on social media. US Urban Boulevard, BLVD .co. It is their into their social media. Also got a Urban Boulevard Street Apparel. You go follow that. If you like any of that, buy it and use the code Brandon.30. Wait, okay, there you go. Brandon.30. For 30% off of the purchase. And let's start the show. So I've been I've been thinking, uh, for a lot of this time. Usually around this time uh of the year, it's kind of when I get out of this mindset of depression, anxiety, and all that. Hasn't happened recently, but I'll get to that later. But I'm saying all that to say this: I started this podcast because of that. I had no other outlet to speak my mind, um, speak my mind, say what I wanted to say, uh, and hopefully one day somebody will actually listen to it. It's freaking ironic because I actually just saw a tweet I posted literally last year, um, on this day, and it had something of I'm trying to paraphrase. I'm trying to remember it, but I might post it later. But I think I said, if you listen to my podcast, if you support it, thank you. But if you don't, I'm not mad at you, because somebody will listen to it one day, and that's all that matters. And something like that. And I'm saying all that to say this: September 19th was my first episode I ever did, and the mindset behind this podcast was to be um about cultural events. If something was popping off that I wanted to talk about, I talk about it. Music, sports, and sometimes I talk about myself. But it was kind of like an indirect thought of how I wanted this podcast to be created in a sense. I wanted it to be, you know, kind of, you know, different in a sense. Um, yeah, I wanted it to be somewhat indirect introduction to me. I guess that's how I want to word it. Where I don't have to talk about myself, but I can talk about myself through the things I love. That's music and that's sports, and sometimes I get to current events. But I end up still doing it on the podcast. Of course, sports. I get a chance to do it with my brother Juan. Very blessed and honored to be working with him on our podcast, Jack's Wild Sports Podcast. Matter of fact, we got an episode coming out tonight at 9:30 Central, 7:30 Pacific, YouTube. So go follow the YouTube channel, Jack's Wild Sports Show, to see the draft, the mock draft picks that we've been doing for pretty much the last couple of weeks. um, I'll just follow him at All Sports Talk Podcast on social media. I get a chance to talk about current events. Um, feel up to it on this podcast still, or I do it in point of view of random shit, which I close the month out with. And sometimes Sometimes we even do it on my other brother Arce, me and his podcast, Dark Therapy Sessions, where we just talk about you know whatever comes to our mind that day. Um, and then I get to talk about music. Um, you know, thanks to my family, Kick Up Your Heels Entertainment. They've sent me so many amazing artists and act and authors and just amazing people. And um, and then also my brothers my brothers at Cultural TV Podcast. They send me just a bunch of musicians, artists still trying to get it in, just like I am on the grind trying to get it. Um, and I get to work with those guys. I get to talk to up and coming artists all the time and get a chance to speak to them. And then I get a chance to still do it on my podcast, which I'm looking forward to kicking off season 5 with top 10 list. I have to go back and listen to some episodes. I think I did a top 10 rap songs list. I can't freaking remember. Uh, but we shall do one for season 5 to start off season 5, which means season 4 is about to end. Um, but I can't wait to do one with my family. Get back to doing it with my family on Zoom. Get that energy back. It's gonna be so much fun just to see them. I don't know who will come through that night, but anybody that comes through, I'm highly blessed and thanks. Know it's been a minute. I know we haven't done one in a while, but hopefully I'll make it up to you guys with this list that we do this week, this upcoming list. Um, and I get to do everything I pretty much started to do in this podcast with, where I didn't have to talk about myself, but I talked about myself through sports, music, even some of the current events. I talked about myself, how I felt about what was going on kind of in the world, and which brings me to what I wanted to talk about today. I wanted to talk about my me working my ass off for these last couple of years to create this my podcast. Last episode, um, I talked about this podcast being a workout. It works on my mental, it relaxes my physical, it strengthens my emotional, and it uplifts my spiritual. And I feel like, with all that being said, there's gonna always be something from that people do feel. And like I said, I love the fact that I do have people that listen. And I don't know how many people listen all the time. I don't know, but whoever does, thank you. Um, but I get on social media every time now, and I got I said on Facebook and Instagram. I got a Facebook page for this podcast, by the way. Brandon Janeau Show, just like the podcast. Um, I see it on Instagram every time. Brandon Janeau Show on Instagram too. Um, but I get on there, and they're always trying to send me like ads, so I could boost my podcast viewership up. And listen, I'm all for people helping me or something. I personally don't like when a social media platform tries to like capitalize on my hard work. That's kind of what I feel is happening in a sense. I feel like that's what's happening in a sense. I feel like people are trying to capitalize on my hard work in a sense. Instagram, you know, sends me, schedule a call with somebody to do ads and all this shit. And they do this probably to everybody, but to me, this is the reason why I don't like that in particular. I don't like that shit particularly. I personally think that for 3 years. I've been grinding. I've been trying to do what I could do. I mean, I would say a year and a half of just me working and doing this and putting in the work every damn day and trying to be a better podcaster and trying to do everything. Um, you know, trying to be a better podcaster, trying to be a better person. And in a sense, uh, I personally don't like um, having to pay for anything that I know I'm physically doing myself. I built this. I created this. And I personally just don't feel like I should pay for people to look at my shit. Because if they want to find me, it's very easy to find me. Which brings me to I think last night or night before, they had this thing on Instagram where you go to a professional dashboard and see uh how many people are looking at your shit or stuff like that. Like they give you, who's been, you know kind of following you, looking at it, stuff like that. And I saw it on Instagram. I'm like, what the fuck? Okay, let me just hit this shit because I usually hit the X button. That's how much I give a fuck about numbers, right? Give me a podcast is to care about your numbers, right? And so I hit the X button every time. But I looked at it and I saw it, and it kind of brought me into the mindset of like, wow, that's pretty cool, because I had like over 1,000 people that doesn't follow me, like in my pictures, like in my videos, shit like that. I do post, other clips from other shit because I love comedy, so I'm posting comedy clips of shit that makes me laugh, and I'm thinking that'd be funny to post on my shit. And I post like memes and shit. I'm getting good at these meme games. I don't know what the fuck I'm doing with the shit, but the shit's amazing. I see it on Facebook, take it and put it on Instagram or some shit. Um, I'm very happy that these social media platforms see what I'm doing. But I also feel like I said, I feel like I could do this on my own. I don't really think I need particularly any. I don't think I particularly need um, you know, any more help with this. And plus, I'm not in a financial position to even do it. So I feel like at the end of the day, I'm very fortunate to have, like I said, the position I'm in my life, man. I'm blessed for it every day to even be in somewhat of a position to even have people that want to work with me, do things with me, believe in me. You know, shout out to my podcast family because I feel like I've been slacking. I feel like I've been slacking. I feel like I haven't shown y'all so much. I haven't shown y'all the love back, and that's my bad. I've been in my own personal solitary confinement, um, mentally and somewhat physically. Um, but I think at the end of the day, um, I've man, I've gotten very um fortunate, and every other month I get more and more people following me. I don't know if it's because people just love podcasts or what the case may be. Uh, or if they're just seeing the people that's posting me because they probably follow them. So they're seeing me and they like what I'm saying. And so for that, thank y'all for the new followers. I don't, eventually we will do something together, I hope. Um, and everything, man. I'm truly, like I said, blessed, man, and honored to have the family I have in this podcast world. Um, and I just need people to know, like, I feel like at the end of the day, I don't need more attention or publicity. I think I'm pretty good at what I do. And I think that's where me as a person, I get better. You know, I'm getting better at. I'm starting to learn who I really am in a sense. And this podcast has helped a lot of things, but it doesn't stop, you know, like I said, my own solitary confinement in my own mind. I wish it did, but it doesn't. Uh, and like I said earlier, I've been lacking supporting a lot of y'all, man. And I see all the content y'all providing, and I've been lacking supporting y'all. Um, which brings me to why, you know, I've been trying to get myself out of this in a mindset. Um, again, it's my own personal situation. I gotta find a way to get, myself. But I'm the only one that's in charge of me. And how I see myself in certain situations. I have to figure it out. Nobody else. And for that, I've been kind of depressed and been feeling anxiety and you know and all of that. But eventually, uh, hopefully, I'll snap out of it. Isn't super bad or super crazy. It's just I gotta get out of the. I gotta change something, and that's more on me than anything. So I hope um, this upcoming list will help me because I'll be back around. Well, not physically around, but back around my family that always there, got me. Uh, and I think this podcast shit is actually cool. So thank y'all for listening. Thank y'all for tuning in. I don't know how many more episodes I got of season four. I'm gonna be honest with you guys. Um, but I'll let y'all know when I know. So peace.